Imagine Morana standing at the edge of winter's deepest night, her cloak woven from ice and shadow, her breath freezing the world into silence. The earth beneath her feet hardens, crops fail, bodies grow cold. She is not cruel, she is inevitable. For thousands of years, East Slavic peoples watched her arrive each November, knowing that what she took away would one day return transformed. But here's what modern culture won't tell you. They didn't curse her name. They understood something we've forgotten. Let's begin.
As her cloak of ice and shadow drapes the land, she embodies the inevitable pause before renewal. Let's begin. In our modern world, we often fear endings, failure, loss, change. Yet these endings are as natural as the shifting seasons. Morana, a figure from East Slavic mythology, teaches us not just to fear cold and death, but to understand their role in the grand cycle of life. She is the embodiment of winter's grasp, a time of dormancy and silence where nature seems to withdraw. But within that silence is the promise of rebirth. Morana's story begins as the daughter of Lada, the goddess of health and fertility, and Svarog, the god of celestial fire. Imagine the contrast of her birth, born from warmth and life, yet destined to bring frosts and stillness. Her pale face is like the moon's cold glow, her black hair flowing like the longest winter night. She is sometimes sister to Lelia, goddess of spring and mercy, symbolizing the duality of ending and beginning. These sibling relationships highlight an eternal truth. Life and death are intertwined, like the dance between winter and spring. In one powerful story, Morana allies with the ice giant Lada after a conflict involving other divine figures, spreading avalanches and glaciers that reshape the world. The destructive forces she commands are not mere chaos, but part of a necessary process that allows new life to emerge. In another myth, her strained love for Dazbog, the god who brings the sun, ends in tragedy. Her poisoning of him leads to her own fiery punishment and banishment to Nav, the underworld ruled by Veles. There, she holds the sun captive during winter's dark reign, explaining the cold months when sunlight fades. But with the arrival of spring, she loosens her grip, releasing the sun and allowing life to bloom once more. Through her myths, Morana embodies transformation and the painful but vital process of letting go. Her rituals in Kievan Rus illustrate this deeply. Villagers made effigies of Morana, straw figures dressed in women's clothes that they then burned or drowned. These ceremonies symbolize the death of winter and the welcoming of Vesna, spring, or Jarilo, fertility. What might seem grim on the surface reveals the hopeful cycle of nature's death and resurrection, reminding communities to embrace endings to make way for new beginnings. Morana's imagery evokes both fear and reverence. She is described as a striking pale woman with dark hair, wolf fangs, and long claws, a figure both beautiful and terrifying, like twilight itself. This duality shows how death and hardship are not only to be feared, but understood as integral to growth. Just as the earth must rest beneath its winter blanket, so must we at times pause, reflect, and endure hardships to emerge stronger. What can we learn today from Morana's story? First, accept that winters, both literal and metaphorical, come for all of us. Cold periods of isolation, loss, or struggle are part of the natural human experience. We can learn to respect these phases rather than resist or fear them. Second, understand that endings are necessary for new beginnings. Whether a chapter in life, closing, a job lost, or a difficult relationship ending, these closures clear space for fresh growth and opportunity. Third, honor the cyclical nature of life. Just as Morana reigns only from the winter solstice to the spring equinox, difficult times are not permanent. They are chapters in a cyclical story where renewal always follows. Imagine standing on a snowy hill at dawn, the first weak sunlight beginning to thaw the ice. This moment captures Morana's paradox, a harsh, beautiful stillness on the edge of awakening. It teaches us that winter's silence is not emptiness, but preparation. Morana's ancient wisdom connects deeply with our modern challenges. In a world often obsessed with constant motion and success, she reminds us of the power in rest, reflection, and endurance. She inspires us to face our darkest winters with courage, knowing the sun's return is certain. A snowy forest at twilight, where the frost-laden branches shimmer softly under a silver moon.
You're carrying something you think needs to last forever. A job, a relationship, a version of yourself. Morana whispers differently. She teaches that endings aren't failures. They're the soil where new growth roots. If you're exhausted from fighting change, from gripping what's already dying, she's here to tell you, it's okay to let winter come. It's okay to rest in the darkness knowing spring was never promised, but it always arrives. This week, name one thing you're clinging to that's ready to fall away. Write it down. Don't fight it, just acknowledge it. The way ancient peoples acknowledge Morana's passage. She moves through us all eventually. The question is whether we move with her or against her. If this myth stirred something in you, subscribe for more forgotten wisdom that speaks to who we're becoming. Stay rooted in the wisdom of the ages.